What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Contractor Secrets Podcast. In today's episode, I sit down with Heidi as she prepares for massive growth as she's moving into a new town. We are going with the franchise mentality here, giving her some tools, tips, insights on some things to think about to prepare for starting her business. So she's like 3 months out. A lot of great principles here for those of you just starting out, thinking about starting, or those of you that just want some refreshers on some principles about getting going, maybe a little spark that you need. Great coaching session here, and it starts right now. Contractors all over the world are wanting more time, more freedom, more impact. The way we do this is through implementing systems, processes, standards. Welcome to the Contractor Secrets Podcast. Here we hit business strategy, coaching, mindset, motivation, the tools you need for success. So strap in, listen up, and get ready to grow on the Contractor Secrets Podcast. Let's try one more time. What's going on, everyone? I'm here with Heidi VanderWaal of V-Dubs Painting, soon to be. Heidi, welcome. Tell me a little bit about your story and what prompted you to call this meeting today?
Well, my story is that I'm actually moving from Michigan to Iowa
Nice.
in July. I've been working with a painting company doing purely cabinet refinishing for kitchens and bathrooms.
Nice.
For a little over 2 years, and kind of wanted to get on my own. And my mom lives in Minnesota, so I kind of wanted to get closer to her as she's aging. So I'm headed that way. And yeah, I heard about you. I think you were on Brandon Pierpont's podcast. And as soon as I heard that podcast, I said, get Dripjobs as soon as possible. So I was sold from there. And now I listen to Contractor Secrets every day almost while I'm working.
That's awesome.
So yeah, I have heard of different things. I listened to I don't remember the name of it, with the 7 different guests that you had.
Yeah, that was the Liftoff 2023.
Yes,
how was that?
Yes, that was awesome. So informative. I have notebooks of notes. Like I've taken a lot of notes. I only heard about the PCA probably just over 2 months ago now. And it started with Brandon's podcast, and he led me to Nick Slavic. Watched a lot of his painters lives, watch painter live things.
Nice.
And then
That's
you
good.
And I still listen to a lot of Brandon. And then Austin from Base Coat just blew me away. I was just gonna have a friend of mine do my website, and then after hearing him, I'm like, oh my, I can't just have a friend do it. I really need to get this done right. So I've been listening to as much stuff as I can and taking as much information I can, taking lots of notes. I want to do everything the right way from the beginning.
I love it. So it sounds like you're in the soaking it up phase, which is good.
Yes, very much so.
And you're an incubator, but you got to be careful, because the more you learn, what'll happen is the more you'll kind of like think, man, like I got to do this and 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 I got to do this. And like the biggest ingredient for what you're trying to do is just the doing.
Right.
And having those things in the back of your head of how to do them to the highest standard, because you're listening to people that have hit peaks, and really they only share in most cases their best knowledge of what they learn. Right. And we're not this is all new, right? In the last 20 or 30 years, people sharing so much information about
I was blown away.
Right, about their journey. And what could happen is, you might have heard this, it's called analysis paralysis. So I just want to make sure, let's set the tone here, that you're ready to take action.
Right. So I'd all started actually before I even started listening to Brandon. I really started listening to a lot of mindset people. And I love your Mindset Mondays, by the way.
Yeah, good.
But I am very much, you just got to do it. Like I kind of tend to like, oh, I want all things perfect and planned perfectly. But I'm also like, I just have to make that first step. I'm very much a visionary.
Good.
So I think my biggest challenge is going to be implementing all of those things, all of my visions, even just putting SOPs together. Like I have all the visions and I'm starting to put them together. I have a call scheduled for next week with Chris Moole with Elite.
Nice.
see if you maybe can help me with some of those things. I've talked to Brandon already. I do have a meeting also scheduled with Austin. Just because I don't know, like I have to, vary my costs a little bit too and see where to really put my money. Dripjobs, I'm 100% sold on already. Like I already know like 100% what I'm going to do. But then creating a website, who I'm going to go to for that for sure.
Sure.
And I know that I think I heard on one of your podcasts that you actually do refer someone for that.
Yes, so Dripjobs builds websites too. We just do the design. So if you're not quite ready to jump in with like a marketing company, we'll at least give you a really nice template design, and then your marketing company can go in and just do the optimization on that. So that's a kind of like a cheaper option just for right now, especially with you starting up, and I'm happy to go over that with you separately, obviously.
Yep.
So where are you at in the entire process of getting customers, getting jobs, and kicking this thing off?
Well, it is a little bit difficult because I am, moving and starting in, a whole different state. So I do plan on branding a little bit and stuff like that. It's a pretty small town, 4,000 people. But the town I grew up in is only 1,000. So this is actually bigger than from when I grew up with. But I do have I have a nephew out there that really wants to get his kitchen done. And I've talked to a few other people there. So that's another thing, is I want that marketing and stuff kind of set up beforehand.
Sure.
And having that website kicked off before I move there. And I do have, in place where I'll have enough money to be able to, last a little bit of time.
So when are you moving there?
I'm moving in July.
You're moving in July. Okay. And you're moving from Michigan to where again?
To Iowa.
Iowa. So you're doing a
I'd
leap,
much
right?
rather be going to Florida.
Got it. So I mean, this is pretty interesting. I mean, you're really trying to set things up. I want you to know that, getting everything in place is really important, of course. But I would even consider, this might sound a little bit out of pocket, but you have so much time on your hands. It would be wise to maybe even put out some Facebook ads to get conversations going, right, with these customers. If you're planning on moving around that time, usually you could tell the customers you're on a 1 to 2 month wait, and you can quote the jobs virtually, and you can start selling now.
Yes, I do plan on doing at least a month before, maybe even 2 months before launching my website. We're going to kick off Facebook pretty soon. I said, even because I do a lot of side jobs right now.
Okay.
So just, putting that content on there and, advertising myself before I get there for sure.
So what questions do you have for me? I mean, what are some areas that you think of? Maybe you have some mental roadblocks on, maybe just some I don't know what this is going to look like, or I'm thinking this. Tell me about those.
Okay, so I'm 100% a visionary, not an integrator. So
say that again. Say your
I'm
audio.
A visionary, not an integrator.
Okay, so you're a visionary. You have the big vision, but
yes.
you sometimes fail to actually put that to action.
Yes, putting all the plans together and stuff like that. I have the vision. I have exactly what I kind of can picture. I just yesterday kind of secured my place for a shop.
Okay, congrats.
So yeah, now I just have to find a house.
That sounds like the big thing.
Yes, well, yes, it is. But there's a lot going into it. There's been a lot of planning and stuff. So yes, it's getting there. There's plans in place for sure. So without being able to, I do have a very much a growth mindset and abundant mindset, but I'm also realistic, and I know that the jobs have to be there to be able to pay for these things. So without being able to hire someone maybe right away as an implementer, just advice of, that's why I was kind of looking at Elite, is maybe that is something that can help me. And, obviously Dripjobs for sure will help me. You're on the lower end of all the price range. I know maybe higher end for your market specifically, but all these other things, their ticket price is a little bit higher.
I love, again, my thing is this, I love that you're already thinking, hey, I need somebody to help me on the financial side. You're going to want to get a bookkeeper. You're going to want to get an accountant. You want to dig your well. Again, I'm going back to this because I've seen this before, and I'm just telling you that, again, you just admitted integration is your hardest thing. that
Right.
might carry over into the production aspect of your business, which right now is going to be most important. It's getting a job, doing a job. How quick is it going to take you from that moment of getting a job, doing a job, to getting a job and having someone else do the job? Because I assume that right now in your painting business that you were working for, you were actually physically doing some form of labor. Is that true?
Yes, I am very much, and I do a sales and marketing background. That was like 20 years ago before I was married, had kids.
That's all right. It's hey, the principles are timeless.
Right. And it was hard sales. It was door to door selling $2,000 vacuums. So I figured if I could do that, I could sell paint jobs.
Right.
Um, and I actually am like, I am one who likes to just boom, let's get this work done. I've actually been job costing on my own.
Okay.
Just because the company that I work for now is just kind of implementing that, but not a lot. So I've just been, because I'm going to be focusing on cabinets alone, just doing my own job costing. So that way I'll have that kind of
Good.
knowledge when I get
Good.
there. But I'm very much, I don't mind doing work. I actually love the work. I like to talk to the customers. So I know that at the beginning, it would probably just be me. I have two 13-year-olds and a 14-year-old that are coming with me. So I can put them to work a little bit too.
Okay, cool. I think it's very exciting. I think there's a lot to unpack in terms of, just again, the best advice I can give you is this, you really want to, and this is your planning time. You can go through all of the scenarios right here in your head about how this is going to work out. And I think the more time you put into at least getting a system down for each area of your business, the better, right? So the first thing is like, well, what's your marketing strategy? You need to build this business in a way that if you were coming to me right now as an investor, I would be okay with giving you money to invest in your business, right? Because the investor is going to say, okay, well, what's your go-to-market strategy? How are you planning on, and look at this in the same way a franchise would going into Iowa, ready to create a branch, right?
Right.
The only difference between a franchise and you is that the franchise just has experience with another location. So their learning curve is a lot shorter because they're just following the same principles that worked in Texas as they would in Iowa. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So you're a franchise.
One of my things is what I'm trying to do is like, I plan on being involved in the Chamber of Commerce. I do plan on doing like pamphlets, handing out either door hangers, something like that. Just because it is a smaller community. 4,000 is pretty small. I think that being involved in community events and things like that is going to help get my name out too.
It's good, but here's the deal. All it's going to take for you is one job, and then you're slam busy for a whole week, and you're not going to be able to consistently do those things of knocking on doors. It's just not going to happen. So, good idea. Right now, as a startup, you need as many jobs as possible fast. How do you do that? You spend money, right? You got to have somebody getting you jobs. If you're planning on doing cabinet refinishing,
yes,
then you need Facebook ads.
Yep.
That's the only avenue you're going to need is Facebook ads showing before and afters of cabinet transformations. And you're going to get leads, and you need to start having conversations with people. That's going to be key. Knocking on doors, Chamber of Commerce, BNI, that'll come, but you need reps. You need to know that, hey, I have 4 jobs lined up. Now I can hire someone to help me.
Right. And then, that's a hiring process too. That's where I'm like, okay, when do you start hiring? As soon as
hiring should be after you get 2 jobs as a helper, somebody to help you prep. And then from there, like that's how it has to go, and it has to happen fast. Like you already need to know, okay, as soon as I get 2 jobs, boom, I'm bringing on a prep.
Right.
helper.
I did plan on hiring pretty quickly.
So what is your hiring strategy in terms of payroll, in terms of onboarding? What does that look like?
So I do have all the SOPs started for all of that. It's just that follow through, that's why, I'm hoping to talk to a lead about that. And I have a friend that's kind of helping me that lives out here. But having that process, all those down, I have them all in my head, and I have them kind of on paper, but just actually putting them on.
And you've probably heard me talk about Gusto, right, on the podcast?
Yes, yep, that's on my list for sure.
Good,
Gusto,
good.
Open Phone, and Company Cam.
Yeah, so those, again, these softwares are designed to just get you from point A to point B quicker, and again, the hiring, I don't know if you've ever hired in this space, but there's someone that I absolutely adore in this industry. Her name's Corey. Have you heard that podcast with Corey Leister?
Leister?
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually have a phone call. I had one scheduled. Anyway, we are planning on talking the next week or two. I've been following her for a couple years.
Yeah, she's fantastic. Someone that you know, would give you every piece of information you need. But here's what's cool is that I know she does workshops. It would be really beneficial for you to maybe go to her workshop and see what that process looks like, what a full-blown cabinet refinishing machine looks like, and really see it for your own eyes. I think a lot of the questions that you're going to have about the production process will be answered by visiting her. You know, and again,
Right.
in terms of your mindset, I mean, there's only so much I can give you right now because you have a little bit of a weight. But all I'm saying is this: if you take anything away from this conversation here, there's two things I want you to catch. Number one, if you're saying that your weakness is implementation, then you need to start implementing. You need to become an implementer. You can't afford an implementer right now. So in the early stages of your business, you have to be an implementer. That means you need to balance out your visionary and your implementation. Slow down on the vision. Right now, you got to keep it simple. There's a time to express your vision, and there's a time to tone it down so you don't outdo yourself. And what that'll do is it'll cause paralysis by analysis. You have so many visions and so many ideas. And what happens is, as a fellow visionary, I know this, if we don't act on those visions, what do? We get a little depressed. We kind of get demotivated. We start getting a little overwhelmed. And, you know, sometimes we just are in paralysis, right? So here's the deal. This is a very simple equation. Get a job, perform a job, hire someone on the second time. That's it. Everything else will wind up falling in place. Right now, you don't have problems that you're going to have. It's important to know what you're going to do to solve those problems. Like, for example, you said Dripjobs. That's going to solve the problem of organizing and communicating with customers. You talk about Chris with Business Advisors. He has a wonderful program as well. You got Gusto that's going to help solve the problem of payroll. Maybe you do an accountant that's going to help to solve the problem of managing the money. A lot of the things that you have written down are not needed until you sell a job.
Right.
Keep it simple.
Yep. And I know I have already one job, like right when I get there. And there's works into a couple more. So whether or not.
Here's something that you can try on a low budget. You ready?
This is months out to start getting those jobs.
So listen to this. Here's what I want you to do. I'll give you some implementation, some action to take today, because I know you're chomping at the bit. This is my suggestion to you. Do you have $150?
Yes.
Okay. If you were to find a great employee, would you say that if I were to hand deliver you a great quality employee that's been vetted, background checked, checks all the boxes, is excited to work with you, would you trade $150 for that?
Absolutely.
Probably 10 times that, right?
Yeah.
So here's what you can do. You're going to go to Indeed and you're going to put out an ad in Iowa. And that ad is going to express everything that you're looking for in your organization. You're going to say, fast growing residential cabinet refinishing company preparing for growth in the XYZ area, looking for a candidate with XYZ characteristics that are ready to learn the art of cabinet refinishing. We are a woman-owned business looking for highly motivated individuals to join our motivated, passionate, success-driven, quality producing, high-performing team. Okay?
Okay.
You're going to run that ad on Indeed for $5 a day. Okay?
Okay.
Now, here's what's going to happen. Two things. Number one, you're going to see what happens, right? We don't want to wait until we need to hire to start hiring. You're testing the waters of the market. You're seeing if anyone would even apply to that.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Number two, a wonderful result would be you actually start the process of bringing on a new applicant. And you say, all right, great. So your phone interview is next week, right? So you've delayed it 1 week. Okay. Your Zoom interview is a week after. Now you've delayed it 2 weeks. And then you emphasize the plan to go to market June or whatever that looks like. And you outline their responsibilities. If you find someone that you're just in love with in terms of who they are as a person, and maybe they're in a position in their life where they're not really in a rush to get a job, maybe you find it could be a mother that's wanting to get back into the workforce, that's still taking care of some responsibilities at home, or maybe it's someone else. I don't know what the situation is, but you're never going to know until you do that. And it might line up to where as soon as you get there, boom, you've already made your hire. And now with this is the secret. Get ready for this, because this is going to be that little tug that so many people forget and don't understand, but you're going to have that little tug that you're going to need to pull you through business. And that's someone else relying on you.
Right, right.
What do you think about that?
No, I agree with that, because when it's just you, it's almost like an accountability thing. Like
It
if
is.
you have somebody, like you don't want to let them down, even like with kids making dinner, like I might make something, but when you have 3 kids that are, relying on you, you gotta
Right.
make sure that, that those things get done. So I've heard you say that many times, and I agree. Like you don't want to let those people down. You want to make sure that they're getting a paycheck every single week.
That's such a good analogy, right? Like if you're single, you'll just eat whatever's in the fridge.
Right, right.
But if you have kids, you want to make sure they're eating a healthy, balanced meal. It's the same thing in business, right? So again, that little tug is going to really polish you up and prepare you for what's to come.
So I have talked to I have a niece that is actually like 10 years younger than me, that lives in the town that I'm moving to, and she's a mom. And I have talked to her about possibly working with me. So
She
we have
lives in
had that
Iowa.
conversation. She lives in Iowa, yes.
How'd you meet this person?
This is my niece.
Okay, be careful. I'm telling you why. That doesn't teach you anything about hiring.
Right. I
That's,
do see us working very well together.
bring her,
And I know,
bring
like,
her
I've
on.
worked for family before, and it has worked.
Okay, bring her on when you're already in motion. Don't start
Okay.
the business with her.
Okay.
I wouldn't do that, because you're not going to learn anything. Just,
Right.
oh, I got lucky. My niece fell into my lap.
Right.
No, I get it. That's a great fallback if you're in an emergency. You need to do what I'm telling you, and that is get an ad out, learn what it's like to get applicants. Okay. And then from there, once you get applicants, learning how to filter those applicants, learning how to motivate those applicants, and then putting things in place. Your payroll company, your niece isn't going to care about that. Right. You probably won't care if it's not 100% set up. It's like, hey, I'm just going to give you a check. You're my niece. But in
Right. No,
the
I
same,
plan going through Gusto for sure.
yeah, in any case, I'm just letting
Yep.
you know that, like, it's really powerful if you just get some stranger from
Yep.
your ads, and then it's just a different accountability level, which I'm sure you understand.
Right. And the company that I work for now runs very much like Corey's does. They have a lot of moms that work there while their kids are at school. Everybody there is part-time, except for me and one other girl, the ones that are usually in the client's house doing the painting. So the two of us are in the field. All the other ones, even the people that demo and put it back together and everything, they're all part-time. So that's another thing, is whether or not, I don't know what kind of structure is going to work for me. Like Corey has that, all the part-time. I think all of her employees are part-time, and the company that I work for right now, which we just do cabinets, same as Corey. But it's everybody there is almost part-time. So I don't know if that structure is going to work better for me than having full-time.
It's cool, because there's just only one way to find out. You're really going to see you're really going to see what that looks like in terms of just what fits your process and your strategy. I think that's really exciting to find out either way.
Right. So the Indeed ad, would you suggest doing it as a full-time or part-time?
Opportunity for both full-time and part-time.
Okay.
Just put it out there. I mean, the idea of what we're doing, the idea is just, again, we're going to see what's out there, see what kind of resumes come in, see the interest in the labor pool. Just one of those things that I think, again, it's going to be really helpful for you to, even if you don't make a hire,
right,
just to see what's out there. I would definitely invest in that for sure.
And you do that today 4 months ahead of time? Not like 2 months ahead of time?
Why not?
Because is there someone looking for a job for 4 months? Most people are looking for a job like now, or even maybe they're working somewhere and they're looking for something a month from now. But
I would just see gauge your level of interest. You need to learn how to write an ad. You need to learn, again, this is just important to see what's going on. If you want to be transparent in the ad, you can say we're looking to make a hire June 1st.
Right. I do have an ad already written.
Yeah. So, I mean, you're ready.
I hope so.
You're ready. That would at least give you something. That would at least check one of your boxes, though, right? So there's a lot of these unknowns in your journey, right? This at least give you the check mark of, okay, when I'm ready to hire, boom, I actually made this mistake on my ad. No one applied. Maybe if I change this and tweak this, because here's what's going to happen. If you wind up getting there, which I know you're going to be successful, you're going to have a few jobs lined up and you're gonna be like, okay, now I need to get somebody. The last thing you want to do when you need somebody is learn the process of hiring. You just want to be able to pull the lever and get it. Boop, I have a process. Boop, let me pull that lever. Here's an applicant ready to go. Get him in my system and go.
Okay, so this was one other thing that I was talking to like the developer of the town that I'm moving to the other day, and the high schools out there all have programs. Like if you like, they even have like a spray booth in their high school. I think that you go there and you show them how to do stuff or whatever, and they work with you. But they also have like programs for having high school students work with companies. And I don't know if that's something that, I mean, that's something to think about.
It is. I think, again, once you grow a little bit and got your feet under you, it's a great opportunity. I love that idea.
Okay. So Indeed, though, you would do today.
What's that?
You would do to Indeed today.
I would at least get the process of learning how to put out an ad, seeing what kind of interest there is. And again, just, maybe you even find somebody that's going to be ready around that time. People are always looking for jobs. Always.
Right.
It's like one of the things people do. So, they might not be ready till June. Maybe they're moving into that area too in June and they want to see what is hiring.
Yep.
We don't know until we put ourselves out there. So that's my goal. I would at least like to see you do that. I think if I can give you an action step today, that would be it.
Yep. And then as far as Dripjobs go, like I do plan, just because I don't want to be somebody that is, in a customer's house painting and getting a phone call or whatever. So I do plan on implementing that pretty much right away. Would you suggest even doing it like a little bit ahead of time so I can get all the stuff, everything written and everything? So I know that.
Yeah. When are you moving? So when are you moving again?
July, middle of July.
May, June. So you got 2 months. If you sign up, I'll give you 60 days for free. So you won't pay anything for 60 days. This way you can set it up. You can implement some of your drip messages. You can go through it, learn how to use it. Absolutely happy to do that. No problem.
You would suggest doing it ahead of time, not like right after.
Yeah, I would go in and again, like the more you can prepare, like the better your liftoff is going to be, right? I mean, it's just you're going to have to learn it. Yep. Yeah, and I'll give you 60 days so you can play with it for free.
Sweet. Thank you.
So just sign up and then send me a message.
Okay.
So I hope I gave you some good ammo today.
Yes, and then I would love your suggestion for website development.
Yeah, I can do that as well. I'll send you an email with some information on that.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah. So we'll get that going.
Well, we'll maybe talk again in 4 to 6 months, and
when you get back, when you're in motion, do another one of these with me, and we'll talk about what's going on.
For sure.
Thanks, Heidi. Good luck to you.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate your time.
No problem. Take care.
You too.
Bye.
What's up, guys? Thanks so much for listening to that awesome business breakthrough. I hope you got a lot out of it. So next up is a pro spotlight. We have Mark Bradford. He is a pro Dripjobs user, crushing it. Now, what's cool about Mark is that he was one of the people that was like literally on the fence. I couldn't get him to budge. I think he signed up one time and then didn't really use it, canceled, and then came back, and then he used it and he loves it now. So this was awesome to get him on to share what Dripjobs are doing for him. And hopefully, if you're on the fence, maybe you can see what Dripjobs can do for you.
What's up, everyone? I'm here with Chris Rodriguez. He's here to share a little bit about Dripjobs and what it's been doing for him. I'll start off by saying, just give me some raw, authentic thoughts about it, man. What's it doing for you?
Honestly, it's been huge for us. The biggest thing I found is how much free time I've gotten now. Like, it's opened up a lot of time, not only in my business, but in my personal life. So that's been huge with like the automation, with the follow-ups and things like that. And also on top of that too, you know, the experience that it gives our customers, you know, how professional it looks from the beginning all the way to the end. You know, we really pride ourselves in the experience that we give to our customers too. So it's been perfect for us.
You getting any feedback from your customers about it?
Oh yeah, tons. Every time, like, I feel like 3 out of every 5 customers, you know, come back to us and be like, "Oh my God, I can't believe like how professional that was," or, you know, "You got back to us so quick. Like, the system's so cool and easy."
Yeah, it makes it easy. You know, one thing that we try to do is connect you to the customer in a way that where you almost feel like we work for you. You know, that's
Yeah.
how it is. You know, and you know, that's cool, man. So you have the automation set up. What is the you know, what is the feedback in terms of the automated drips after you send a proposal out, right? So like, you send a proposal out, Dripjob shoots out drip messages for the course of like a month. Have you won any jobs from it, or people responding to them at the very least?
Yeah, I totally have. I've actually, it's funny, it works so good that sometimes I forget about jobs that we've sent out, and then I get a message back from somebody. I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh man, that was like 2 weeks ago."
Yeah.
But yeah, I found that a lot of people have been responding back. We've been getting a lot more jobs from that, and that's where we really were lacking before Dripjobs.
Before you signed up for Dripjobs, I think you probably heard about it, right?
Yeah.
There was some apprehension, of course, new software. What is a piece of advice you have to anyone that I show this to, or put this soundbite into, to them? Maybe they're on the fence. Maybe they think they have a good system. They're using Joist or some of the other estimating softwares.
Yep.
What advice you'd give to them?
Yeah, that was totally me. I was using one of those cheaper softwares. I was on the fence, you know, a little more money, smaller business, you know, do we really need something like that? And I'm in the mindset now that it's the total opposite. Like, if you're a smaller business, like, you definitely need something like this.
That's what I say.
Like, yeah, it definitely, because I'm like an owner operator, so I'm still in the field. So it's like almost impossible to work all day and get back to everybody. Yeah. So, you know, implementing this has been huge. It saves so much time for us. Like, it's a no-brainer. I think, like, if you're on the fence, definitely do it, and you'll thank Tanner and myself later.
Yeah, thank you, brother. Are you sending the booking link to people that call you?
I am now. I saw that you did that, and I was like,
Oh, that
geez.
button there? You saw we put the button there?
No, I didn't see the button. There's a button.
Yeah, on the app, it says new request at the bottom.
Yeah.
And all you gotta do is tap it, punch in the number, and it shoots them a text message with your link.
Oh wow. See,
Yeah.
that's another thing I love about it too. It's like, it starts off, it's a great system, but you keep improving it, and it just gets better and better and better.
Bringing it. And I love that because it's so easy. And just for anyone listening, what that does, someone calls you, typically, like it used to be, all right, what's your first name, last name, email, phone number, address, and you're trying to get all this information. You write it down somewhere, or you type it in your calendar. But now we just give you a link to send them, and they fill it out. It goes into Dripjobs in the right spot, creates an appointment request, and sends them a text and an email in seconds. And you can get back to doing what you're doing. And you being an owner operator right now, you're in a vehicle, you're probably going to estimates or checking on a job. Like, you don't have time for all that, man. So, you know, that's cool, man. I'm glad it's working.
Yeah, dude, it works so good. And I think when we met at the PC, I kind of told you, like, I was on vacation with my family, you know, at Disney World, about to get on a ride with my daughter, and 2 leads came in. Normally, you know, I have to call them back real quick. I got on the ride with her, got off, and Dripjobs already followed up with them, and they booked both the appointments. You know,
man, that's crazy, bro.
Yeah, like that time to me is invaluable.
That's huge, because you would have had to say, hold on, I got to go take care of these leads real quick, because you know you were getting charged for them.
Right.
And you had to step away from your family in that moment, call them. Now, if they didn't answer, you would have had this feeling like, damn, like I got to, now that would have been on your head.
Yeah, exactly.
The whole time. I've been there.
Yep.
And then this thing followed up with them instantly. It's almost like you had an office admin in the office while you were at Disney.
Yep, exactly.
And
Yeah.
it was handling business for you, and you didn't
Yep.
have to text her or him to be like, "Hey, follow up with that lead."
Yep, exactly. So that right there is just, the value is
I have to
crazy.
say
Like, it's
that
priceless.
right there is one of the best testimonials I've ever heard. And I've been doing this sort of system for a while, but when it became Dripjobs, that was a good one right there, man. I appreciate
Yeah. Nah, no problem, man.
Chris.
I love it.
Thank you, brother, for your support. Anyone listening to this, please take heed to Chris's advice. He was in most cases just like you. I think he has a business breakthrough that you could go listen to on the podcast somewhere. But thanks, bro. I appreciate you.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, man.